All right, JoeyRitter.com, on Twitter at Joey Ritter. First duo guest today, I've got Curt and Jackie Wolfson from the sketch comedy powerhouse Dramma. Good to see you guys. How you doing?
Great. Thank you guys so much for having us.
You seem very excited to be here, and I'm excited to have you. Now, Curt, it should be no secret that you and I were roommates in college. But
yes, we do have a past. We have a past.
That's a whole separate interview. There's lots going on there. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Dramma. So talk to me about what Dramma is. What are people going to see if they come out and see you guys perform?
A whole lot of, we're really funny, Joe. We are absolutely hilarious. No, we're sketch comedy. We've been doing this for a while now. Jackie a little bit longer than I have. I joined the group about a year ago.
4 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been at this a really long time at this point. Yep.
And Walking Fish Theater is where we routinely perform. It's in Fishtown in Philadelphia. They've been great hosts. They've been allowing us to do shows there every couple months. We always have a great turnout, really great crowd, and everybody's been really supportive. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, well, yeah, no, Walking Fish Theater, I've been there. I've seen you guys perform before, and, it's kind of like, how does the beer work? Because you guys sold, like some Pabst Blue Ribbons there. How does it work when selling beer? Is that legal? How does that work?
Well, I'll explain this for them. They're not selling the beer. They are simply hosting our show. And if you donate to the theater, they will be willing to give you a beer from their home stock. So
that's right. There was a sign out front.
Yes.
There was a sign out front that said, beer donations are welcome, but not, necessary. And what do they give you, a bracelet or something if you pay the $5? Or
no. There's actually no set payment. It's just whatever you feel like giving them. And then actually they've instituted something new where they have home brewers come every show one night. I think normally it's Wednesday nights, and you get to try a local home brew from someone.
Yeah. Fishtown's full of homebrew people, aren't? Is it just the people that live there?
It's great.
Yeah. There's probably a couple of people doing it in bathtubs, but it is Fishtown, so you have to deal with that.
Is it just me, or is like 2013, like everybody home brews? Like nobody was doing that in 2006.
You know what? I think it's just that we're getting older and we're real. When we were 21, like 22, like you didn't give a crap about that stuff. You're just like, I want whatever's cheap and on special right now. Yeah. I did not care about what, had hints of malt and, nutmeg in it.
No, I totally care. I want to try a home distillery, though. I think that'd be more fun.
Yeah, well, I still want what's cheap, and I don't care about taste or anything like that. But anyway, all right, back to Dramma here. So what are people going to see when they come to your show April 3rd through the 6th at the Walking Fish Theater in Fishtown, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
We have quite a few character sketches. We also have a lot of darker stuff this time around. I don't know where our mood was, but it definitely leans to the dark. So
in a good way.
In a good way, yeah. It's not for children, but it is for people who have a childish sense of humor. And can take a joke. I think that's
No, it's good. Like, we always try to balance, smart, funny, and, we never, deliberately try to go edgy. We're not hey, we're going to try to do this really, but we do what we can to, try to do it in balance. We never want to try to go for the easy joke or the dumb joke, but if it's there and it's hilarious, we're going to make that happen.
Yeah, and if it's a geeky joke, that's even better for us, really.
Yeah. Now, what would happen if, some 40-year-old parent, went to Dramma.com, filled out your contact us form, and said, hey, I'd love you guys to perform at my 8-year-old's birthday party. Do you think you guys could do that?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
We have such a stockpile of material. You guys have been doing it for, the last 5 years, so there's such a range of, super, super R-rated stuff.
We could probably do, a 5-minute show for an 8-year-old.
Good 4.5, 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be the best 4.5 minutes of their lives, though. Their young lives.
So you have 4 minutes of clean material is what you're saying?
Yeah. 4 minutes of material that an 8-year-old would get.
About 1.5 minutes of funny.
Yeah.
I love how the show works, because I've seen you guys perform before, and it's kind of like the guy comes out and hosts. I don't know his name, but he comes out, he greets everybody, he interacts with the crowd. I think he thought I was heckling him, but I really wasn't. and then he plays the banjo and the guitar, and then you guys do your sketches. It goes back to him. It's such a smooth thing. There's no awkward pauses or anything like that. When you guys rehearse, do you rehearse the whole show together, or do you just do separate sketches?
That's a good question, actually. We have kind of a rhythm in place now. Pete actually joined us, I think he's been with us now 2 seasons, and he's one of the writers now. So he's definitely a part of the whole process. But we spend 1 month writing, 1 month rehearsing different sketches, and then it's not until the last week that we really put the whole thing together, and we do the whole thing as a whole once. Yeah. And then the show goes up.
Wow. Because there's a whole, light, turning the lights down and all this behind-the-scenes production you guys do. I mean, I don't know. It seems to me that would be stressful, but you guys are the professionals, so.
Oh, it's definitely stressful. Don't get us wrong. But yeah, there's a thing that's called, tech rehearsal, where we actually do it at the theater, which is only, 2 nights, maybe, if we're lucky.
Yeah.
And that's always a challenge.
Has anything happened behind the scenes before where,
mostly fistfights between me and Jackie.
Yeah. We had the tech board go down entirely one show. And we had no lights whatsoever. So we attempted to do improv, and then we found out we're not an improv troupe at all.
I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, no. That was.
I would have saved you. I would have saved everything. I would have been a hero that night.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right. Well, improv, that's a whole nother thing. Now, what was your favorite sketch comedy shows growing up?
I am a huge fan of Mr. Show, but that's not really me growing up.
Well, that's still pretty young. I mean, what is that, 95 to 1998, something like that?
Mr. Show, actually, I'm sorry to say, I'm a huge David Cross fan, but that show passed me by. I guess I didn't. I guess I wasn't watching HBO or whatever during that time. I don't know.
I love that one. Yeah, that one, and I did like Saturday Night Live as a kid. I watched that quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely my introduction. That and Kids in the Hall. I'd say, that was, the turning point for me. Because Kids in the Hall I discovered on, early Comedy Central or, really late at night, when I wasn't supposed to be watching television. I'd put on the Kids in the Hall, and I guess this is funny because he's wearing a dress. But then I realized there was other elements to it, too, that were actually really funny.
That's actually my airplane DVD. I watch that whenever I'm nervous on the plane. I just stick in Kids in the Hall, and it's very soothing.
Yeah, Curt, do you remember who did the announcing for Comedy Central back in the early '90s?
Penn from Penn and Teller.
Yes, fantastic. Correct.
That's right. I remember that. Incredible voice.
Now, all right, I'm gonna make one. I want one of you guys to throw one of your sketch members under the bus. Do you work with somebody? Maybe they have an annoying trait. Something that bugs you, irritates you. Throw somebody under the bus.
God.
It's so.
I can throw you under the bus.
Throw me under the bus. Throw me under the bus.
Please do. I prefer that.
No, I was going to do that, and now I can't think of anything.
Oh, you got plenty.
I do.
Just bring it out. Let the world know, Jackie.
So much.
I have nothing to hide.
Oh,
I can talk about annoying things about living with Curt if you want.
She doesn't live with me.
Do that while I
in college I did.
Yeah, go ahead and I'll think of something.
Tell me one thing that I did that bothered you.
Okay, I can. In the middle of the night, I remember, because our bedrooms were adjoining. You know what I'm going to say.
I do.
I don't.
It was 1:30 in the morning, everybody's sleeping, and all of a sudden you just hear Curt in the next room, damn it. And apparently a glass of water spilled on him while he was sleeping. He knocked it over on himself.
Yeah, I had my desk right aside of my bed, and I got all wily in my sleep and knocked a cup of... And I got mad at my roommates thinking they dumped water on me in my sleep.
That's what they do. It's college. It's crazy time. Dump water on you.
Yeah.
I softened the language. I think it was some F-bombs in there, but, I try not to drop the F-bomb on JoeyRitter.com here.
Good warning.
Now, what's that?
I said, thanks for the warning now. I'm glad I've avoided it thus far.
You guys can say whatever it is you want. I have, no qualms about guests cursing. I try not to. That's my thing.
It's fucking great, Joe. Thank you so much.
Now, all right. Now, during my tremendous water story, did you think of something that you can throw a member under the bus? Come on, there's got to be something. Maybe somebody's acting chops aren't up to speed.
No, probably my own. I I know one thing. It's not really throwing anyone under the bus. It was a while back. There was this mentality that a lot of times the female actresses and comedians should be the sister and the disappointed mother and the secretary. And that got so obnoxious. I mean, it was like, and then I was cast as a few male characters. I was cast as Nixon, and one of the members of the group was like, well, we've got another guy here. Another guy could easily play that. Like, because they look like Nixon? No one in this group looks like Nixon.
Right.
And then I finally, I think, proved that we could do other things as well as some of the other actresses. But we threw the entire male half of the group under the bus with one sketch about how we women have evolved in sketch comedy. But
okay. Do you still do the Nixon? Do you still do the Nixon?
No.
Okay. You could just go like this, though. That's acceptable, too.
Yeah, I can. Just like, yeah, it's pretty much me going like this. Whoa! The whole time.
Now, both of you have done live performance and both video sketches.
Yes.
Is there, a difference in how you go into that?
Well, I mean, right off the bat, I have to say that doing the video stuff, like, it's stressful, but it's way, like, more comfortable because you can do as many takes as you want. When you're in front of a live audience, the pressure's on, no matter what. You have to nail everything. You have to be funny or else. You can't be like, all right, I'll get on the next take. These guys will wait for me. No, like, it's, so from that regard.
And from the regard of my mother, the videos, though, is much more stressful because I always get a call afterwards, after she sees it online, going, Jacqueline, just no. Are you kidding? You're dressed like a prostitute pretending to service someone. No, Jacqueline. So,
and your response is what?
Huh?
Your response is what?
My response is always, but it's funny, and plenty of actresses play prostitutes. But she'd prefer I was earning millions of dollars for it as opposed to like a free pap smear every now and then, which I can kind of understand her reasoning, but not really.
Well, technically you could earn lots of money by dressing like a prostitute, but that's we don't need to do that.
No, I mean,
would your mom be more proud of you if you made money as a prostitute?
We literally had this discussion over Christmas, and the answer was yes. Yeah. My mom would be much happier if I was doing nude scenes in Hollywood movies than pretending on stage and in video.
I deal with the same thing. I got my little internet show here. And I don't know if you guys get this, but people always ask me, they're like, oh, you do this internet show, like, do you make any money off of that? It's like, I don't ask people that golf on the weekends, like, how much money they're making playing golf and stuff.
Yeah, people ask us that all the time, like, oh, is this your job? And I'm like,
kind of.
Yeah, no.
It's a job I don't get paid for.
It takes as much time as my regular job, but no.
Mm-hmm.
My point is, though, why is it like any type of performance art, it's considered something you have to make money at all the time? You can't just do it for the enjoyment.
Exactly. It's very annoying, and sometimes people are a little like, oh, that's cute. Oh, you do a little thing. That's nice.
Oh, that's nice. You want to come out to one sometime? Yeah, I'll see if I can get around to that. That's cool, though. But I'm supporting. Let me just give you the $5 that would take to get into the show. That's fine.
I gotta stop fucking.
Oh man, do you still get like in the college days, in the crazy college days, it was always like, is there going to be a cover? Like, how much does it cost to get in? Like, people in their later 20s, early 30s, do they still ask those questions?
They do ask how much, and we always tell them, which is awesome and an awesome plug for us. On Wednesdays, we tend to do we used to do a pay what you roll, where you'd roll a dice, and whatever you got on the dice is how much you pay to get in. Mm-hmm. And now we're just doing a pay what you can. So first night, it's basically like a preview night anyway, so we're probably going to screw up a bunch of times. But like, no, we never screw. What am I saying? That never happened yet. So that was a lie.
It is. I always say it's cheaper than going to a movie.
True.
It's cheaper than that.
That's my point. Because when I saw you guys perform, I went with two people that generally don't go out to see comedy shows, and the consensus after the show was, well, that was pretty cool. That was something different. Like, how do you get it in people's minds? Like, especially like it's a great thing to bring a date to, but everybody always has dinner and a movie on the brain, and people can't get past that. Like, how do you get the word out to people that sketch comedy is a thing that's going on in the city, and you know, is it like advertising in the paper or something like that? I mean, do
I
people
mean, it's around, but like I feel like it's almost like a subculture. You have to know people that are doing it to really get involved and hear about it.
Yeah.
Like there, you know, you do see it in like the local like alternative press, like Philadelphia Weekly and PW and stuff like that. They do show up, but you have to look for it.
Yeah, I think just telling people trust us, come. Like we can also pre-sell tickets. At least we used to when our tickets were a little bit more expensive. We'd say, look, I'll sell you this ticket for a cheaper price. Maybe then, like you kind of bargain with them. I found though it's kind of explaining what sketch comedy is because I think Philly has a much bigger stand-up scene, a much bigger improv scene even than sketch. So. We kind of we beg a lot, but once we get people to come, they keep coming. I mean, that's one of the great things is they'll come again. But there's great groups out there like the Philly Sketch Festival guys and Fit. They're doing quite a bit to get the name out about it. So and then it's getting people to Fishtown.
And that's one of the awesome things about the Philadelphia comedy scene is that like everyone helps each other out. Like the stand-up people know each other. They're friends with the improv people. They're friends with the sketch people. So it is a really tight-knit community, and everyone does what they can to support each other.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask that because I've had some stand-ups on the show, and it just seems like everybody's promoting each other. Everybody wants each other to succeed and stuff. But it's like, you know, at the same time, you know, I listen to a lot of radio that have stand-ups interview, but they say that they like to watch other stand-ups bomb. Is that kind of the same when you do your sketch competition? Obviously, it is with the competition.
I would actually say, are you going to say yes? I'm going to say no.
Sometimes. Like, if someone's, like, known for being really, really good and, like, you know, like, you're just like, at that point in my life, I was better than that. That sketch specifically.
That's true. I've thought that before. Yeah, I've been like, and it's the catty part of you that just wants to be at the point that they are. That's like, really? They're this popular? We could do that. But most of the times, though, you go to those and you see the sketch people laughing, like, almost a little bit louder than the other audience members. So even though we may be thinking that out loud, it's actually a really supportive environment, which I like. But there have been some people, and I don't even know groups, who've been kind of rude to you once, and then you just, like, you hope you do it. Like, you just want to kill them with laughter.
So the biggest issue that I have with comedy in general is that whenever whenever you're like, oh, hey, I do comedy, or I'm in the sketch comedy troupe. Okay, you do improv. No, I do sketch comedy. Oh, is that like an improv troupe? Like, it always ends up going to, it's like Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
like,
I say
that's
it's
the
like
go-to.
Saturday Night Live with no money, hardly any costumes, and no censors.
Yeah.
And less drugs, maybe, too?
Oh, now I toned down. Jackie hit rock bottom, and now it's just up for her at this
Curt,
point. So.
You are the segue master, my friend, because we usually do a segment called Turn It Up or Turn It Off where we talk about music. But, you know, since I'm interviewing two sketch comedy folks, I have Saturday Night Live discussion points, because I'm a big SNL fan, and... you know, let's just roll with it. Who do you guys think the best Weekend Update host of all time is?
I'm gonna go with Tina Fey. I loved her.
Now, Tina and Amy, or just Tina? You know,
I actually loved Tina and Amy, and I loved Tina and Jimmy. Seth, which. Oh, God, now I'm losing my SNL credit. I don't watch too much of it. No, but I think that she was genuinely one of the, like, just hands down funniest people that they had.
Yeah, she was really great with Amy Poehler. Like, they bounced off each other, too, and that was, like, kind of cool that two women had the first chance to host it.
Yeah, female power.
Curt, your answer?
I gotta go with the lesser-known choice of Norm Macdonald.
See?
I did no. I mean, again, like he is so divided amongst like comedy people, and especially like casual viewers of Saturday Night Live. So many people hated him just because he hammered jokes into the ground.
Right.
And I love that about him.
But my thing with Norm Macdonald is and I don't know if it's like true for you, but I became such a big fan of his way after he was on Saturday Night Live. When he was on the show, I was in like middle school, and I didn't get it. You know, I didn't get the hammering of the jokes and his delivery. I don't know, it just went over my head. But once I understood the type of comedian he was, and I went back and watched those old Weekend Updates, they were the funniest things ever. And I wish, you know, I got it at the time.
All right, maybe I'll go back. I also didn't get Seinfeld at the time, so there's that.
All right, who do you think the best cast in history was?
Ooh, that is a good choice. I mean, it's so mix and match, but I mean, I gotta say, you know, and this is just because of me growing up. It was early '90s cast members. It was like not even the Chris Farley, Adam Sandler years, but like Phil Hartman, Dana Carvey, Mike Myers. Like I don't know. I mean, that kind of like it caused me to really be into comedy and shape who I am, and you know all that fun stuff. You know,
give him a hug there,
like
Jackie.
Of course, I loved like the Chris Farley, Adam Sandler years and stuff like that, because that's when they started to do like the cruder, like juvenile humor that we loved when we were like 14 and 15 years old.
Yeah,
so that was probably like the most I ever like routinely sat down and watched Saturday Night Live and like loved the hell out of it. But yeah, I got to give it to like, you know, I'll always miss Phil Hartman. I think like he's probably like of my generation like the biggest loss in comedy. Like definitely gone too soon because that guy was a genius.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't
you don't have a favorite cast?
Not really. No, I mean I have like favorite cast members, but I don't have a favorite cast. I will say though, I do hate how like it's the cool thing to say how much you hate Saturday Night Live.
Oh
like,
yeah.
SNL's so cheap nowadays. It's like they go for the easy joke, not funny, but it's really hard to make everyone laugh at every joke. I think if you laugh at like 4 of their sketches and they wrote them like within a week, and I don't care if that's their only job, then good, you know? That's a good use of your time.
Yeah, well, my thing is like, I don't know if it's the internet saturating everything and, you know, everybody's always sharing funny videos and, you know, there's just so much out there and so much funny things for people to see. I just don't know if a show like Saturday Night Live holds up today like it used to, because people would always go to Saturday Night Live to get that kind of, you know,
like YouTube comedy, like the tidbit stuff, you know what I mean? Like the 3 to 4 minute stuff, everyone's can just instantly access that stuff online.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and
I think that's where SNL's like finding their audience now. They're probably finding more of it online than they are people that are tuning at 11:30 on Saturday night.
Well, it makes sense. So that's why the shorts do so well. But
yeah.
Right, I mean, you know, anybody has the option to go online and watch a raunchy video that's way over the top. But, you know, Saturday Night Live can only go so far, whereas, you know, back in the 70s and 80s, they were going really far.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But was it really far compared to the 70s and 80s and what they're... I mean, I actually think, like, if you can do it clean and you can do it funny, that's really impressive.
Yeah, that's what we try to hold up to, too. Like, you know, it's always easy to go for the dirty, hardcore joke, but if you, like, can challenge yourself more, you can get a better result from it.
Yeah. Wait, when we did the dirtiest sketch competition, I'm just, like, totally veering off from what you originally asked us on.
Because we happened to win the dirtiest sketch competition.
It's our first time winning everything.
Do you have your award there in the room there, Curt?
Oh.
No, where is that, Jackie?
It's in my apartment because I keep promising to copy it for everyone and I haven't. Because I'm just like hoarding it. No, but we even going into that, we were like, well, we don't want to just do something that's really gross and dirty. If it's not funny, we're not going to put it up. And so I think that was like, it holds true, like I said, with what SNL kind of comes up against, which is they can't go too far because they do still have sponsors and on TV, even though they're late night. But I mean, I'm not saying everything they do is great. It's not. But
although the last episode, they actually used the line "jerking off a horse" on air, which I'm like, wow, I didn't know they could say that. Okay, that's a new boundary. Done.
Talking about that, or was it like a new drink?
Well, it was just in a line. They're like, or you could jerk off a horse. But I'm like,
it is an alternative.
No euphemisms necessarily. They just went right to it.
Now, I was gonna say, Jackie, I totally agree with you in terms of if you work clean and it comes across like as funny, because it's really easy to just throw profanity in. And I love comedians, you know, that curse a lot, but I think it is harder to write clean humor and have it come across.
That's true. And actually, to throw this in there, we did have a family of 4 with like 2 really young kids come to our show on accident because we were doing a history show. Not on accident. They meant to be there. They didn't know what it was. We were doing like a History of America show as told by Dramma, and they thought it would be a wonderful way to cap off their trip to Philadelphia and all the history stuff that they were doing. So we had like an 8-year-old and a 7-year-old sitting in the front row. and their parents. And they really enjoyed it. I think their mom, though, did reach over and do one of these to the son, just covering up his eyes at one point. But the kid seemed happy. I mean...
I'm sure he was. Sure he had plenty of...
Did you notice that performing? That there were 8-year-olds in the audience?
We saw it. Yeah. We've had kids come a few times because we had a little girl in our show once. And in that show, we actually had a 13-year-old performing with us. We like to get the community involved.
Sure. What's some of the weird audience members that we had? You know, we had someone knitting through our show once.
Yeah.
We had a few homeless people, I think.
Yeah, they liked it though.
Yeah, they did enjoy it. They were loud laughers.
Yeah, we have a few elderly diehards that really. Yeah. This one gentleman comes every time, and he loves us, and I don't think he understands everything, but he just likes us a lot.
You better, you got to be careful with the pay what you can beer thing, because you might attract some audience folk that you're not.
Do we have to be careful though, or then do we get as much enjoyment out of the show as our audience does? Because I love talking to people afterwards. That's when the fun starts for us.
I hear you. All right. Well, hey. I'm not gonna challenge that. All right, back to Saturday Night Live here.
Sorry, yes.
Most memorable reoccurring character for you guys.
Ooh. Stone silence.
You know what? Okay, I don't know the name of this character, so I don't. This answer isn't gonna be that great. I loved when Sherry O'Terry played that woman who had the makeup all over her face, who was like real jittery. What was her name?
Oh, like the drug-addled woman that was on all the pills.
Yes, I loved her enough that I forgot the name of the character.
Not the woman that always yelled at people on the porch.
Yes.
That's the skit. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, she always made me laugh.
Out of all the characters in the history of Saturday Night Live, though, that's your favorite?
Well, I didn't think about it that deeply. That's like a.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a question right there.
It is a question that you got to think about.
All right. Well, I didn't want silence on your show.
I'm
out there.
This wasn't a recurring character, but it's someone that I always wanted to come back, and he never did. It was Dana Carvey's. It was Massive Head Wound Harry. Do you remember that?
Yes. I think what? I think that was a one and done though. I think if that kept going, it might not have worked.
I wanted more.
Yeah, that was a great.
The dog eating the meat off of his head.
Yep.
Yeah. That's where I left.
Yeah, I always wondered if that was they put something in his head that the dog would come over, or if that was supposed to happen, or if that was a live thing that they had to just roll with.
They just had a dog in the audience?
I think they wanted...
No, they had a dog in the skit.
Yeah, they had a dog in the skit, and he came up. They actually had live bean on Dana Carvey's head, it was a head wound, and then it started actually eating pieces off.
Those dogs are well trained. That dog knew what he was doing.
All right.
What's yours?
Reoccurring. I mean, this is an obvious answer, but Wayne's World's what got me into the show.
Oh, yeah, that is a good one.
That's good. I can't. I'm sure there's been sketches that have been funnier than Wayne's World, but.
Yeah, but somewhere Sherry O'Terry is thanking me for acknowledging her brilliance, because not enough people do that.
I don't remember what it was, but I remember in elementary school there was some sort of thing where you had to gather into the theater, and you had to do skits about drugs or health or something like that. And I remember we did a Wayne's World skit, and I think that was the first time I ever did a sketch on stage.
Oh, I was the lead actress in a drunk driving play in 9th grade. They had the lights up and everyone had scripts in their hands. You can tell it's really popular for that hour and a half.
So from that point on, did you know you wanted to be an actress after that play?
After that play, I knew I never wanted to do a show again with a script in my hand and the lights on for a bunch of 9th graders. That's what solidified there for me.
All right. Now this one, I don't even know if I can answer this one. So, who is a better Saturday Night Live cast member, Dana Carvey or Will Ferrell?
Ooh.
I'm gonna go with Will Ferrell.
Okay.
I think Dana Carvey had more range, but as far as being consistently funny, I'd have to give it to Will.
Yeah, I went with consistency too.
Okay.
Not that hard.
It's well, I don't know, because it's.
We're gonna make anyone who's watching this angry. I know.
If you write a list of all the pros about each cast member, I think Dana Carvey just has a couple more.
Really? Yeah. What do you think tips him?
Well, like Curt said, his range. He could do political, and then he could do silly, and he could do the church lady, and not that Will Ferrell couldn't do all that stuff, but I think in terms of a sketch comedy versatility thing, I mean, nobody can touch Dana Carvey.
Yeah, that's taking a different approach to looking at sketch comedy and what's better and what's not, because we have there are people that do one thing but do it really, really well. And they're just really funny people, and what they do is really good. But there's other people who are, kind of meld into characters, and then there are people, who play the straight man a lot, but are necessary for sketch comedy. So that's putting the emphasis on what you think is more valuable in the sketch comedy world.
And there's certain people that just want to yell absurd things really loud, and like Will Ferrell, and that's what I like.
I just like the one time that he wore the bikini bottoms.
Oh yes, yeah.
USA Pride sketch.
Right.
I thought that was quite nice.
And if you were to ask, who has a better movie career, I think you're going to give it to Will Ferrell on that one too.
Come on, clean slate with Dana Carvey, that's classic.
I never saw a Clean Slate. I don't know. I kind of
Career Opportunities.
Is that no? That's the Opportunity Knocks.
No, I'm sorry. Opportunity Knocks. I apologize. Whoa.
2 completely irrelevant movies that we just argued.
Completely irrelevant.
Was he in Trapped in Paradise?
He was.
That's a pretty awesome movie.
Was it?
I like that. They can't get out of that town, guys. They just stay. That's great.
It was good when it was called Groundhog Day. It was funny.
Hey, what do you guys do, if you're, performing, in stand-up, it's kind of not expected, but it happens when people yell stuff out rudely. You never want that to happen. Right. But, with sketch comedy, you guys are doing lines. You guys are, into the skit.
Oh, we do a lot of lines, before the show especially.
What's that?
So we do a lot of lines before the show.
A lot of them. But, do people ever heckle you or yell stuff out?
We've never been heckled. I think I don't know why. I think it's because we look like nice people and they don't want to yell at us. Or it's because it's people that we, it's generally people that we know, bringing friends that we're not in Center City, so we don't get a lot of people just off the street. Yeah. But we have had people talk to us during sketches, sometimes in a really helpful way, telling us where something is. This guy once just shouted out, he forgot our water at a sketch where the next line is, "Where's my water?" And I was like, "Thank you, sir. You are right. He did forget my water." It was really helpful. We had another sketch where they were the 2 guys who are no longer with this group, Zach and Creo. They were playing these guys who were really drunk, and they were just singing a song, and the whole thing was about that song. Walking really far. I would walk 500 miles. That one.
Yes.
I would walk really far. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would walk really far. Classic song.
Those were the original lyrics.
Those are basically what they ended up with too.
Just didn't seem far enough.
No, they had to specify. But we had this one lady, and I think she had too many beers, and she just kept yelling "Freebird." It was. I'm I wanted to be we're not improv. We actually wrote this out ahead of time, but she just kept going, "Freebird."
Oh no.
I know, and afterwards she's like, "Why didn't you yell Freebird?" And the third, actually, no, we have had a heckler. One of our cast members' mothers heckled us during a show.
It was your mom when you came out as the prostitute?
No, my mom actually, she loves us. She doesn't like that video, but no, it was actually a good friend of the cast. His mother is wonderful. It's this guy DC. He's our head writer. His mother is one of the most wonderful people in the world. But we started this video, and it was this texting while driving video, and DC was playing an individual who had gotten hurt texting while driving, and she just kept going, "Oh, DC, oh, just,
oh, God."
And it was so loud, and afterwards she's like, "You could hear us? That's not a wall, that's a curtain. We're right behind that." Yeah.
I don't understand. I've gone to sketch comedy shows, stand-up comedy shows with people who just don't know how to act in the audience. And I don't understand how it's not a common thing to know not to turn to the person next to you and be like, "Real? Oh my God, I can't believe he said that."
I like the people that we were at a comedy show recently. We were going to support Dave Taruso. It was very funny, Philadelphia comedian. And this guy next to us was adding in things to what the comedian was saying, like trying to impress his friends, but doing it really loudly and then pissing off his girlfriend because he said something about her, and then she just got mad at him. They kind of started this little fight, and it was just so weird because it's like, this isn't a movie. That person can hear you, and so can everyone around you. Like, you're not contributing anything, and you're not funnier than the person up on the stage. Right. You're never going to be funnier at that moment than the person up on the stage.
That show also started with him going, "How's everybody doing tonight?" And then you heard one woman go, "Yeah, right." It's like, yeah, right? How is that a relevant response to how's everyone doing?
Why did that woman come out to see Brian Posehn? I don't understand it.
Yeah, seriously, there's never been a time in history where there's been a heckler and then like the audience is like, "Oh, let's see you perform." Like, it's
please.
Yeah. And then they do an amazing job, just knock it out of the park and become famous.
Like, I don't get why you would go to a comedy show and just be like, "This isn't funny." Like, leave then.
I hate spending money to laugh.
Seriously, I don't know. The human race, I don't know if we're ever going to get there, but we'll do our best.
No.
But hey, I loved having the duo guests. I mean, cool. I really appreciate this, and I hope you had a good time.
We had a great time.
Dramma.com. Now, am I pronouncing it wrong? Because I heard you call it Dramma.
It is called HiDramma.com. Yes. It's something
two
a lot
M's.
2 M's.
Why?
Because we felt like it.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's for the fancy pronunciation, Dramma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, well, everybody go to HiDramma.com. HiDramma at HiDramma on Twitter. Come out April 3rd through the 6th at the Walking Fish Theater. Anything I'm forgetting?
$10, and the first night, Wednesday, is pay what you can. So show up. You can pay nothing for a donation beer if you want, or pay $1 because they like that.
Yeah, and one of those nights, a home brewer is going to show up and just hand you a beer.
Yes.
So if you're lucky, you'll be there on that night.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So beer and comedy, and not that expensive. You should come.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think we can cut this last part out, and that can be the commercial, I think.
Yeah, all right, I'm fine with that.
I don't feel like we're ending on a high note, though.
This whole interview's been a high note. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, anything with me in it in general is usually something that people tend
You are
to
the
enjoy.
best-looking person in the group.
Oh.
Did you see that beard?
Is that a beard? I can't tell.
If you look, yeah, it's not a chin strap. Well, I mean, there's hair here. You just can't see it. Because my body tries to make me look like a Jersey Shore douche, and I apologize for that.
And we just lost our Jersey Shore audience.
That's all right.
But specifically only the douches. So.
Jackie, if they made it this far, trust me, they're not, going to be that unimpressed. So, hey, Curt and Jackie, keep killing it. Thanks for doing the show.
Thank you.